Hello everyone. Guess what I'm gonna do? I am gonna go see baby Benjamin today. So I'm just kind of getting things a little bit situated around the house, and then I'm heading out the door to see that little beautiful bundle of joy and spend some time with my grandson and with John and with Marika, and looking forward to that. So anyways, I'll talk to you folks in just a little while. Look at how big my pumpkin's getting. It's so cute. It may not ever win as the biggest pumpkin, but I think it probably could win as the cutest pumpkin. And look at there, there's another pumpkin growing. And I believe there is another pumpkin growing. And I just noticed there is another pumpkin growing. And I think that might be a little tiny pumpkin growing right there. Well, after being outside and taking a little bit of a walk around, and as you saw, I had to show off those little pumpkins, didn't I? I have come to the conclusion that I'm going to have to dehydrate some of my tomatoes because, yeah, this is how many tomatoes that I have. And there's more in the vines that need picked. So I need to dehydrate some. And yeah, I'll decide what to do with the rest when I fill up my trays. Because I guess I'm just going to have to can some. I probably can them whole if that's the case. But I thought, well, you know what? Dehydrating them might help get rid of a few. Anyways, I have my mandolin out, and I'll show you how I'm going to go about doing that. Well, in this dehydrator cookbook, it says on page 77 that we are to dehydrate at a temperature of 125, and that we should cut them between 1/8 to 1/2 inch thick, preferably 1/4 inch thick, and to place them on our dehydrator trays and dehydrate for at least 10 to 12 hours, and that they should feel dry like paper and be flexible but easily torn. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. And I am assuming that we will need to cut off our little ends, so that's what I will do. And these tomatoes they came in clean. I mean, I cleaned them already. I will set this to, yep, it's already set to 1/4. And I will put this on my tomato here. There we go. This is so ripe, it doesn't even want to stay in there. So I'm just going to see how this works. Let's see what that did. Oh, that made some nice slices, didn't it? So anyways, I think I need to get it on this a little bit better next time. I think I had it off-centered, and that's what caused it to kind of go crooked like that. So I will just cut this the rest of the way with my knife. Whoops. And I'll be working on the rest of these and filling up my trays. And I'll be back in just a little bit. Well, I was able to get 5 trays of tomatoes, so that's pretty good. Although I do have to say some of these were so ripe that I had to use a knife to cut them because, yeah, the mandolin just wanted to squish them. So anyways, I'm going to get these on the dehydrator, and I also have to confess that it is already 6 o'clock in the evening, so you're going to have to wait until tomorrow to see how these turn out because, yeah, I spent most of the afternoon with my grandbaby Benjamin. So anyways, I'll talk to you in just a little bit. For today's devotion, we are going to be reading from Romans chapter 2, verse 4. Or do you despise the riches of his goodness, forbearance, and long-suffering, not knowing that the goodness of God leads you to repentance? You know, we would do well to remember this truth on a daily basis, that it is God's kindness, that it is God's goodness that leads us to repentance. And let's remember that true repentance means to change one's mind, which comes about from a revelation of God's goodness. Verse 4 challenges those who might abuse God's patience, those who may think that God's favored treatment towards them makes them beyond his judgment. Paul is saying in this verse, you are misusing God's kindness to cover up your sin. You see, this verse teaches us that God in his compassion desires to move us from sin to repentance and towards him. So today I would like to tell a little story about a man who went out to his garden and planted a watermelon seed, but then did nothing to help it grow. In fact, after he planted the seed, he did not even return to the garden for many weeks. He didn't water, he didn't fertilize it, and he didn't weed the area around it. But his kind neighbor noticed the garden and decided to help by stopping by each evening and watering the seed. And over the next few weeks, he also fertilized it and he kept the weeds away. After a couple of months, the man who had planted the seed came back to his garden to find the largest watermelon he had ever seen. Excited at its size, he decided to take it to the state fair, and sure enough, he received first prize for the record-setting watermelon. His neighbor happened to see him at the fair and asked him how he grew such a beautiful and large watermelon. The man replied that it was all due to his great skill at gardening. The man in this story sounds like us, trying to take credit for any good spiritual results in our own life. So with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it. And we must never misinterpret God's patience and kindness to excuse away our behavior. God bless, and I will talk to you tomorrow.